So guys, do you remember this statement made by the governor of New York? Watch this video.
Young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word a computer is. They don't know. They don't know these things. And I want the world open up to all of them, because when you have their diverse voices innovating solutions through technology, then you're really addressing society's broader challenges.
Oh, New York, you must be so proud that your governor basically thinks that you folks of the Bronx are idiots, all right? Never heard of a computer, don't know what it is. But yet she believes that you can bring your diverse thoughts into technology to make it better. You honestly can't make this stuff up with Democrats, guys.
What up, everybody? And it's nice today. Got most of my work done. So the majority of my work done. So I'm walking to this store to return some stuff. But today was a very interesting news day. Governor Hochul, the governor of New York State, fixed her mouth to say. So anyway, I believe today is National Teacher Appreciation Day or Appreciation Week. And I don't know who she was having a discussion with. But she fixed her mouth to say that black kids in the Bronx don't know what a computer is. When I saw that, I almost thought it was like a deep fake situation. Like those words could not have possibly come out of her mouth. Number one, the majority of the population in the Bronx is not even black. It's Hispanic, Latinos. So for her to be so prescriptive to say that black kids specifically in the Bronx, you could have chose any county in New York State, but you chose the Bronx. Speaks volumes. It speaks volumes to me because I know that what you say and how you think behind closed doors about black people in general is derogatory, is not uplifting, like you don't really give a shit about us. I don't know how much heat she's going to get for it, but she needs to be held accountable. Seriously. And I don't even know if it's an election year for the governor. But when I heard that totally just like rocked me, because I'm just like, how do people think like this in 2024? Not to say that I'm shocked at all, but I'm just amazed. Not in 2024, you really honestly believe that black kids in the Bronx don't know what a computer is? I am flabbergasted. Absolutely flabbergasted. Governor Hochul, baby, your days are numbered. You played a good game, a good front, but it's a wrap for you. A total wrap.
She was trying to say that black kids, nowadays, most of them, they don't know even what computer is. Really? So black Americans had to come out and talk about this particular issue. And here is the following remarks of how things escalated on each end.
Young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word a computer is. They don't know. They don't know these things. And I want the world open up to all of them, because when you have their diverse voices innovating solutions through technology, then you're really addressing society's broader challenges.
Are we really still free?
So that's a question raised by Governor Hochul on Juneteenth celebrations, raising questions about freedoms that she says are going the wrong way when it comes to the minority community.
Are people still free to live where they want to live? Still free to work where they want to work? Still free to get the education they want for their children? Are they able to have all the opportunities that they've always wanted and fought for? And if the answer is not yes, and I'll tell you right now, the progress we've made for 200 years is now going backwards because of Washington, D.C. So that's why we march. We march in resilience of those policies and that sense that everyone is not welcome in this great country. And we reject that here in Buffalo, New York, and all across the country.
I will never be intimidated by anyone. president on down. Is Kathy Hochul funny? Hell yeah.
Is this actually the governor?
Yes, when I ask me a trick question, just to make sure.
Governor Hochul, you stated that you're a proud registered Democrat.
Yes, I did. Is that illegal now, too, in your country? If Tom Homan comes to Albany to arrest me, I'll say, go for it. You can't intimidate a governor. I guess they're not used to taking on a mom from Buffalo.
Giants or Jets?
You know me better than that. It's Buffalo Bills. Cheers.
Black people truly live rent-free in a racist person's mind. Like, it is crazy. So, obviously, the White House hosted a UFC event or whatever, and this fighter here won his match, or whatever you call it, and to celebrate, he yells in the camera that Michelle Obama is a man. And it's like, in a moment of celebration where you just won your fight, you're at the White House with, Daddy Trump, who you love so much, who you lick his boots so much, and your first thought is to think about a black woman who you don't know, you never met, have no relation to. In a moment of celebration, you're thinking about somebody that you hate. Like, is that not weird? Do you want to be a black woman? I'm confused. And the hate that Michelle Obama gets is so weird because it's like she was never the president. She was never a political figure at all. Y'all don't even hate Obama like this, but it's always a black woman. Like, black women literally are the most hated for no reason. That lady has minded her business, did her book tour, she was a lawyer. Why are y'all so obsessed with her? Why are y'all so obsessed with us?
Seems like the government is using reactive abuse against African Americans, and specifically within this current administration. Like, they try to get rid of SNAP and make it seem like that's going to affect black people, but that didn't really turn out to be the case. I feel like it was actually going to affect a lot of white families, but then they got rid of DEI. And then that was supposed to be, towards black people and upset black people. But I feel like at the end of the day, that didn't affect black people in that way that they thought it would originally. So black people still weren't coming out into the streets. So obviously, if the government is using reactive abuse, they're going to try to keep provoking the African Americans within this country so that they can use whatever narrative they have after black people finally have had enough of all of this. But then they start redrawing lines in order to basically silence the black vote. And that obviously is very clearly targeted towards African Americans. And like that, I feel like is also meant to upset African Americans and get us riled up and get us rioting and in the streets. But that didn't have that effect either. And now we have a situation where a young black boy was murdered by a gas station owner because the gas station owner thought that the boy stole water, which is crazy in itself. But then the boy didn't even steal the water. And then this is a situation that is kind of mirroring what happened to Latasha Harlins that ended up sparking the Los Angeles riots. So I feel like there's so many things that are happening where the government is literally provoking African Americans to get us in the streets and get us angry. So that way they can say that black people are dangerous and black people are doing all of these things, but it's out of being provoked. If anything were to happen, it would have been out of black people constantly being provoked within this country. But then at that point, I don't know if their goal would be to enact martial law or shut everything down. I don't know. But I just feel like the U.S. government is literally using reactive abuse against African Americans within this country in order to get us outside and angry and mad. So then they can literally have a narrative of black people being angry and violent and crazy. But it would have been a reaction from the abuse that is being done by the government constantly. Like things constantly being done to specifically target black people. And it really just feels like this is a form of reactive abuse. Like they're literally trying to do everything they can to provoke black people to get outside and get angry and be in the streets and do whatever. So then they can shift the narrative to whatever they want it to be, which always seems to be that black people are dangerous and violent. But it's like the government is provoking black people very clearly.
So actually, this video was created back in 2024, sorry. And it was kind of really funny because how blacks actually reacted to this, to her remarks or her speech became so kind of really interesting because you can see people working with like monkeys at entering in a computer room and they're trying to trying to jump in like like a monkey trying to go into the computer room just to try to kind of really mock this statement. So guys, I want to ask you a question. What do you think about that? I know this video is old because it was 2024. It was kind of really I was going through that video, and today I really tried to understand what she was meaning, because maybe there's two main reasons as to maybe she was trying to be like black kids, right, like you blacks are so far behind or something like that, that you don't know technology and something like that, so you need to you need to learn these things, something like that. Or maybe she was trying to try, like, it's high time we influence, or we try to bring up our this black community, like they should now start learning and introducing their kids to this new technology or new era, and something like that. Or what do you guys think? Remember guys, this video is for educational and entertainment purpose. Make sure guys you give it a like, and all the video that you see belongs to the original creators who deserve the credits, guys, for these amazing videos. So I want to play another video, guys, for you guys to see, and then we'll be back with more commentaries shortly. Watch this video till the end, guys.
Now we have, young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word a computer is. They don't know. They don't know these things. And I want the world open up to all of them, because when you have their diverse voices innovating solutions through technology.
So I had some white colleagues ask me what I thought about Trump actually segregating whites and blacks. And I actually told them straight up, like, honestly, I would love that. Now, they looked at me like I was crazy, and they almost spit up their almond milk. And I think they thought that maybe I was saying that out of hatred, but it really isn't about hatred. Here's the thing. I'm not talking about their version of segregation. See, I'm talking about our version of righteous separation, spiritual sovereignty, and black sufficiency. See, the truth of it is that integration was never about freedom. It was finesse. It was a system's way of saying, let's stop them from succeeding independently so we can profit from their brilliance directly. It was about control. And so I want us to be very clear about this. We were never separate but equal. So that's a lie. We were separate and excelling. We had our own schools. We had our own banks. We had our own businesses. And baby, we were thriving. Black Wall Street, they burned it. Rosewood, they bombed it. Wilmington, they overthrew it. Why? Because we were doing too well without them, and they couldn't handle that. And so that's the truth. They didn't really want segregation gone. They wanted control. This is why we know that integration was just repackage of chains. When we were separate, we actually were building and excelling. And when they saw that we could excel without them, then it was like, oh no, we got to take control and make sure that their labor is profiting us. So right around that time, they rolled out this whole standardized testing, ACT and SAT. Y'all remember that? They created this IQ ranking to measure their norms, not our brilliance. And then we were said we were behind when we really weren't. We were just building our own lane, not asking for theirs. See, I don't know about you all, but I'm kind of tired of the lies. It's very exhausting, just the lies that continue to be promoted. And I want to talk about the melanin, because this whole thing that we're not smart enough, that we're not bright enough, is simply just a lie. And so, all this testing that they're doing, and I have kids in school, and they're made to feel that they cannot achieve. And I have to remind them about their actual superpower, melanin. See, not just your skin tone, but in your brain, specifically neuromelanin, that rich dark pigment found in areas like the substantia nigra, which are critical for learning and memory and decision making and emotional regulation. See, if you don't know, then you won't know how to respond. But when you learn about the studies that have actually linked the neuromelanin to higher concentrations and how it's related to enhanced memory and processing and higher intelligence and faster reaction times, then you know why they have hidden this information for so long. Because when you have higher melanin, you have stronger brain resilience against degenerative diseases. So translation to that is melanin doesn't just make you glow, it makes you grow. So we know that it's not coincidental that people with more melanin have historically been creators, inventors, innovators across every discipline, while also being the most suppressed, because they know that the more melanin you have in your body and in your brain actually produces higher intelligence. So the Bible also says this too in 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verses 7. It says he placed treasures in earthen vessels. What treasures? It was in us all along, right? So we have more melanin, and we know that people with less melanin, because it's a recessive gene and it's a mutation, lack the same level of intelligence, of many different benefits that come along with that. What's so interesting about it is that we're supposed to be looking at this as if it's something negative. But why is it negative when every other cultural group does this?
Black are always being seen as one of the people. You know, me, one thing I always know that is that black people are so superior that that white people always fear them. That's one thing that is always kind of really logical, because most of the time you find out that black people are always kind of really played. I'm trying to use a polite word, like let me just say underestimated or undermined, okay? Because you see, sometimes they pass laws in America that always favors the white, okay? But you find out that these things are always escalating at one point or the other, because at the end of the day, black people will not be happy, and not everything will go on so well as you have just seen how people are protesting, how people are always being kind of questioning the government, and how and so also the Trump's regime. So this thing has always been there. It has always been a thing of, exchange of words here and there between blacks and white people. And in my opinion, I think things should be just fair, because if they are passing laws, for example, like any type of law that you guys know in America, it should not be biased. It should be like a 50-50 thing, like it favors both ends, because that's what I know about law. Law is just trying to be fair enough for every individual. Not people of color have to be with their law and these other people have to be. No. I think that's one thing that it should not be there, in my opinion. Or you guys, what do you guys think about this particular video? Let me know in the comment section. I'll be happy to read your comments, guys, and make sure, guys, you keep it polite, peaceful, because this video, guys, is not to create any violence or any kind of discrimination against any community. No, we're just trying to inform you and bring you exactly what is happening around America at this particular minute. So guys, I'll be happy to read your comments. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. India, if you're watching this for the very first time, guys, and you haven't subscribed to this channel, kindly do, guys, subscribe to this amazing channel and let me know what you guys think about this particular video. And if you're from America, let me know what kind of video do you want me to do for you guys, and so that you guys can really enjoy. And that's how we do it here, guys. So until next time, guys, have a great morning, have a great afternoon, have a great evening. Stay safe, guys. I wish you all the best. Peace, one love, guys. I'll see you in the next one, guys. See you guys in a bit. Bye bye.